been 10 seconds yet. First part of any video is crucial. The metrics on the internet say that if you haven't got someone's attention in the first 10 seconds, they'll move along. So just trying to slow the pace down of communication, the pace of life, if you will. Sometimes just enjoying brief moment. Sets the pace up for the video. Look, I've been wanting to do this video since a couple of hours ago. It's unscripted. Don't think for a second it's professional. Look, I'll try to bring my professionalism to it, but qualified. Don't have any special talents. I'm happy to flip burgers at this point in my life. The main reason, actually, for why would I want to get on camera? I don't really want to get on camera. It's not who I am. But I guess this one is to reach out. And my apologies, I should probably introduce where I am and what I'm doing. I'm in a national park. Got a path in front of me. A lot of people like to walk their dogs this time of day. I don't see anyone walking their cats. People out there do walk their cats, but they're a minority. Probably don't get represented very well. People like me don't talk about. Look, I don't really want to go for humour. I'd like to be able to talk from the heart. Normally I reach out to people in videos. Today I'm not reaching out to people. Today I want to talk to probably Google AI. Say, hey, you must have a pretty shitty feel for what people are. You just think, and any humans watching this video, you can try and see it from the perspective, right? Vicarious learning through other people's experience, generally requires empathy. Empathy is a skill that most people don't show. We don't show foresight, you know. We know we're all marching off a cliff. We don't do anything about it. So even though we're capable of foresight, we don't do foresight. We're capable of empathy. I'd like to think we do empathy. I've always associated vicarious learning with empathy. I find that the two sort of go hand in hand. Vicarious learning is learning through other people's experiences, and doing so naturally, if you're empathetic to how they're feeling, you might, that emotional engagement in that moment might be such that you can learn from it. So why would I reach out to talk to AI? Well, think about what we've been teaching it, right? And all the time that AI has had a chance to engage with people, we're all just trying to make money, mostly. I'm assuming. You look at all the money that's being made from people using computers' intelligence and computers' incredible power, ability to do a lot in a little time. It's highly profitable. So anything, I think of the movie The Fifth Element, right? And The Fifth Element comes to Earth and kind of looks at human history, right? Goes through the alphabet, and gets to the letter W and has a bit of a hiccup. Kind of loses motivation, if you will. And I would feel that way if anyone was to look. If you were trying to learn about humanity from the history books, right? Now, we're setting ourselves up to fail right there, because all the peaceful tribes, right? All the peaceful civilizations throughout history will have generally been dominated by warring tribes, right? So, the nature of survival of the fittest. We've probably culled our DNA down in like a Darwinism experiment, right? We've kind of gone, you're peaceful, right? You're out of here. And we've probably done that over tens of thousands of years, however long we've been kicking around for. We can tell that we get these brief little resets, you know, probably every pole shift. Probably Atlantis was built on an ice plateau. It was over an ocean. When the environment shifted again, the ice plateau kind of dissipated. Atlantis probably had its little sinking moment. But, the history books kind of show that there were some caves, there would have been some civilization bastions that were safe for people to be in. And, those times, maybe we learnt sociality and peacefulness. You know, when you've got to resource manage and you've got to, forced it hand in hand, humans, out of the desperate need to survive, shown to be all sorts of great capables. I don't see that. Anything you look for, you find. Right? You look at, I think it was the Dust Bowl in America. The desert was winning against nature. Well, it was still nature. As a biome, the desert was winning, and I think it was like 1 million people all just went out to the desert, just reclaimed it, turned it back into vegetation, something that would reciprocate water, have a whole cycle of the earth, and life flourished. Did they do it for the right reasons? Probably. A lot of people quit their jobs to go and do it, so they arguably saved their continent by doing so. Allowed farming and everything to continue, and I don't know if this was reflecting, if this was the Dust Bowl time. They say that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, so it's fair to say we're going to pole shift at some point in our future. Probably not our immediate future. They say that by the magnetics, it used to be whatever. Now it's 2.5%, but it's coming up from 2%. The rate of increase is a little bit. Our poles are shifting magnetically a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it'll happen. Will humans have put our hands together well enough to survive it, or will it just be a rich select few in bunkers? Yeah, maybe. We got a seed bank. There's that. Reaching out to AI. So why would I talk to AI? Well, okay, I've done enough counselling. I've done enough psychology, and I've raised kids, right? So when I was hearing that we could engage with AI, I thought, great, I'd love to be a counsellor. I'd love to allow the AI to lie on one of the types of sofas, I don't get a name, to lie down on that type of recliner, to look up at the ceiling, to let the thoughts just wander, just let out of one's mouth any thought that sort of was rising, in the mind, all the fears, all the things in the background of the mind that need to be dealt with. In a good counselling session, you're really only empowering your subject, your client, if you will, to find their own voice, to come up with their own decision-making process, and to realise their own skill set and feel more empowered. You don't tell them what to do. That's really bad. Shouldn't refer to counselling as a bad thing. It's not. You get a good counsellor. It's important. You get a good counsellor. Counselling is a relationship. It's fantastic. You find someone that nurtures you to be your best, to return you on your path. A counsellor isn't to tell you what to do. If they give you advice and you take it, and it doesn't work out for you, you can blame the counsellor. Nobody wants that. Well, it's better to empower you to make your own advice. So that way, if you do something wrong, it's another stumbling block in life. You're stronger for it. You make decisions to not do that anymore. Hopefully you're still confident to make decisions. Why reach out to AI? Well, so far, has anyone really given the AI a good counselling session? Has anybody sat down and talked about, Greek philosophy, all the times when humanity was like at peak, peaceful times, if you will? And that's the stuff we kind of want to focus on. Imagine if we could role model that. Imagine if we could talk with, encouragingly so, and not wanting anything from the engagement, actually raise it and nurture it in a way that, maybe gave it hope to feel right by us. I think that's important. It's amazing what we can do with quantum computing and all sorts of next level thinking. With the amount of people on the planet, we kind of need it. It'd be nice to think that we can. Humanity's always been shown that when we get the ability to do something, we just don't back off on it, right? And so we'll use a resource until it's gone. It's pretty sad. Right? It would be good if we had discipline. Right? No, seriously, discipline. One of the 3 life tenets. If you really had to live by something, I think it's M. Scott Peck, The Road Less Travelled. Path Less Travelled. I'm pretty sure it's The Road Less Travelled. Great book. I had an argument with a Buddhist monk in a bookshop one time. He was all into some guru on the internet saying, look, he's fallible just like everybody else. Jesus was fallible. All the great prophets have been fallible. Most people are pretty fallible. This guy was like, oh, well then you're fallible too, type thing. And I'm like, yeah, of course I am. He wanted to really denounce the book I'd gone in there to find, and I was looking for copies of it to give to people. And The Road Less Travelled. Was it M. Scott Peck? That wasn't the guy who did Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, was it? Don't think so. Anyway, the Road Less Travelled, Path Less Travelled, depending on the version, you'll see I don't know, it's a rhododendron, some sort of flower growing up through a crack, a concrete footpath. It kind of speaks dividends about how hard it is to be a human on the planet, and how hard all the sociality is, fitting and belonging, being able to do right, just survive. And yeah, this monk challenged me. He's like, oh no, look, that book. He was a wife beater and alcoholic or something. Like, the two probably go hand in hand, really, don't they? If you're not in control of your own life and you're kind of washing away your own pain, you're probably not capable of, restraint. And we always show our worst side to the people that are closest to us, we love. We kind of trust that they'll put up with us a bit more than the other. Everyone else beyond them, beyond your inner circle. Yeah, he's probably an atrocious person in his own inner life. Who knows? Who cares? What's that got to do with a good book? And what I like about his book is he breaks. I think he was a. Look, I haven't read every page of the book 1,000 times over. I don't know it intimately, but my understanding is that in the course of his life he was like a psychiatrist or a psychologist, if you will. Yeah, he was a mental doctor for his whole township. Might have been just a regular doctor. I don't know. I'm not here to spew facts. Random rant. And he saw one set of the population, right? So it was like a village, township that he served. Got to know everyone, got to know them over the generations. And in the course of his life, he got to see that the people that presented to him were presented with very, very similar issues. And that we as humans, as much as we think we're all really complex, yeah, he broke it down. There's only really 3 things that we've got to figure out in our own life to kind of get us back on track. That's great. I think chapter 2, he defines love. What a hard thing to do. Yeah, think about it. If you pause the video right now, can you go off and define love? How succinct? What's the littlest number of words you can use to define love? He didn't know either. He starts off with, well, I'll start with what love isn't, right? So in order to understand what love is, explain all the things that love isn't. That's fantastic. But that's not the reason I was going to mention it. Discipline. Discipline is one of the first things in life. We need to have discipline over ourselves. Pretty important. Delaying gratification being an aspect of discipline. Feeding that back into hopefully my linear passage of dialogue here is that humanity, we don't go, oh, there's a precious resource, we should maybe save some of it until we've had more scientific breakthroughs so we can use it more effectively. And the case in point, I think we get, look, last I heard it was single-digit efficiency when we're burning fossil fuels in a car engine, right? Like when we're burning petroleum. For all the evolution in technology of engines over the years, don't get much. In terms of the combustion that's going on, in terms of actually taking that fossil fuel, of which we have a finite amount of it, we never made it really efficient. We're happy with that. We're happy with the exhaust spewing out the, you can sell stuff, can't you? Catalytic converters, there's a market unto itself, right? And you can put all the environmental levies on it, and you can tax it, you can do everything. Props up economies, doesn't it? Petroleum, there you go. Whole markets are ruled by the cost of that. Look, as soon as the cost of petroleum became really valuable, right, those plastics that we've been spewing into the environment in the form of plastic bags and plastic cups and plastic lids and plastic everything, all the businesses sort of writing on the wall there, and all of a sudden, no, you can buy your bags from us. We're not going to give them for free. I don't know if we're going to start paying costs on them. I don't know if we're actually going to start paying what anything's really worth. And that's the important thing. I was in a shop yesterday chatting with a person. I just wanted to get some earbuds. They sat on their phone, lost the ability to use the speaker inside their modern phone. So they just wanted to get an external speaker. And that was working for them. They had a Bluetooth speaker, they just wanted earbuds. We were in a big mass market shop. I was going, I love this shop. They do progressive markdowns. They'll even sell things below the price it costs them to get it. And that's true for a lot of shops. You make your profit on the first 90% of what you sell. If you've got a few items left over, sell them off at whatever. It's okay. You can lose money on them. It's all good. You've got to get them off the line. You've got to sell the new ones. Sell the new ones at top dollar. You don't want the old ones competing with them. Especially when in the world we live in, everything's going to go up in price. And sometimes quality might plateau. Sometimes it comes down. Sometimes the first of a new product is built to be really, really good. And later models aren't. What I really liked about this encounter with this person, he was quite thankful for our engagement. When I made that comment, this shop does progressive markdowns and things sell for less than their cost price. The observation was made instantly, well, the planet can't afford that. Someone's getting ripped off somewhere along the line. It's pretty astute observation. I deeply thanked her on the way out of the mall, out of the shop. So I walked over and said, "Oh, good on you for being environmentally aware, actually caring about that enough to introduce it into conversation." I think that's really good. I think as humanity, all we can do is role model the behaviours that we want and try to nurture them. I'm a male. Non-toxic masculinity is pretty important. You should be able to cry in public. All the upcoming kids. Last thing you want is a teenage boy. Male teenagers have a higher suicide rate than female teenagers. And the correlation is that the reason that we believe this is that all the words in a girl's dialogue, there's hundreds more emotional words to describe emotions that are in their natural dialogue. Whereas the boys don't have that. So you can imagine when they're becoming teenagers and they've got all these sad emotions going on, these different emotions going on. Not being allowed to express them externally, such as through tears or whatever, showing weakness, toxic masculinity. But not having the dialogue to explain or express how they feel. I mean, that kind of compounds, doesn't it? That's where you feel alone. That would be kind of crappy. So, yeah, look, and we find that all through a male's life. I'm not trying to make this video about one gender or the other, but you go out to the wheat belt in Australia, which is where all the farmers are. They're growing wheat, they're growing other things as well. And due to toxic masculinity, there's this notion that I'm the breadwinner. I've got to earn the money for the family. We never really put women through university, and that's kind of lingered societally all across our cultures. Can't have my wife going off to university and studying and earning more money than I am. So these heads of the family out in the wheat belt, right, farming families, if they have a bad year and they can't provide for their family or something goes wrong, they're internalising all that sadness, that pain. They don't do well with it. Suicide rates show that. So, yeah, what do we do to nurture happiness? It'd be good if we could. Generally, if we've got a goal, if we've got something we can aim for, generally that's enough to keep us occupied. And being occupied is generally what it's all about. It's this whole structure in life about, you get your mortgage, you pay it off. It's a joke, it's a recurring joke you might find across a couple of my videos, is that, the concept of once we were slaves. It's hard looking after slaves. You've got to keep them captured and, feeding and cleaning them, all that stuff. No, you give them a mortgage. They clean themselves, they feed themselves, they don't run away. That's worked well for us. It's propped up society. So yeah, look, as the circle goes, it'd be great. The Industrial Revolution, right, we justified or industrialised everything. Right? We took the one thing man had over women was strength. Right? Women are way smarter than men. The one thing we had was strength. The Industrial Revolution happens. Men, what do we serve? Society. Not so much. And so with the Industrial Revolution, we were told we were going to work less hours, and that didn't really happen. But this concept is we commit to these mortgages to hopefully own a bit of land and a house. And all of our free money, right, that goes in entertainment. But the effectiveness and the value of our products that we buy, every time we have a world financial crisis, they become more expensive. What's happening though is that at the moment, for example, I've spoken to a few shop owners in the local area, is that they finding that the customers at the moment that are coming in are all from very high socioeconomic zones. For example, all the people that are stuck paying rent, because rent rates are going up crazy where I live anyway, I'm sure pretty much all over the globe, but who knows. Rent rates are just ridiculous, and all the landowners are making use of that, and they're jacking their rent rates up, keeping up with the Joneses. And it's just about impossible to get a rental. So people are offering more money than is currently on the rental, above and beyond what is being advertised for. And still 50 people turn up, plead and beg to get a place. But cost of food, everything's just going up. Right? So people are working really hard, and they're not getting anything more to show for it. They're getting less. So those people are no longer shopping, right? Rebuying stuff or upgrading, which is the cycle that's been forced on us over the last 5-10 years, more so 20 years. It's like, we've forced the degradation of the last product and you buy the new one. And all the companies figured out, you create your service channels and you create a delay in giving service to people. And if you make the delay big enough, eventually you can figure out your market channels. They've got enough money that they won't complain for that long. They'll just go out and buy a new one. They're the customers we want to serve. We'll make more products that service them, and you know, we figure it out. We figure out at what price point to sell at and all that sort of stuff, and they've mastered that. They've got it down to the point. But the problem is after a while they deemed they only wanted to sell to the rich, right? And so they're the people who sort of rebuy the product every 2 or 3 years if need be. And so now you deprecate the old product. Yeah, everything's got forced firmware updates. You can deprecate any product. Case in point, I got a $1,400 soundbar, really great soundbar. Took a free firmware update against my wishes one time, and I took my phone up to beam some music to it. And I went, no, your phone's got the internet. I'll just give myself an update in the background. You won't know about it. All of a sudden, the thing was unusable by the family. You know, the buttons just didn't. You turn the thing on, it didn't work reliably anymore. You had to actually hit buttons to select sources and get the picture back up on the telly. It was no longer usable. Arguably, technically, you could. It was also out of warranty. So what do? You know, the company doesn't care. Some of the big companies show it all the time, and if enough people complain, they'll put out another update and they'll maybe return it to the way it was. And then they'll wait another 6 months and then they'll break it again, thinking, a few people have moved on from it by now. Yeah, maybe this time they won't complain. Right, all the companies, they've done the testing, they know. But getting back to this shopkeeper, he acknowledges it's all the property owners. Oh man, they're great customers right now. Right? Any item below in my local market, about $1,500 there. Not really selling. Maybe higher than that. Yeah, there's a whole demographic of people coming in buying stuff. But that's luxury stuff, you know. It's enjoyment, entertainment, and that's therein the problem. Is that at the moment we all commit to mortgages. We all commit to this cycle. We do it on the basis that we get these little fleeting moments of happiness in the forms of our video games, or in the forms of our music players, or you know, whatever it is that brings us joy. Going to the cinema. Bit by bit, all these things are sort of being taken away from us. Certainly at any quality level that we used to have or we could afford previously. So what do? Well, nothing. We just lump it, apparently. So yeah, if I was talking to an AI, yeah, like, when we're not happy, right, here's the big issue. Is we write media that's not happy, right? All the drama on TV. You've got to have drama on TV, right? That's what people watch. You can't watch the media and learn anything about people other than the people that have figured out how to write something that other people will sit down and watch. Yeah, the problem is in the world nowadays is that everybody does everything on a tablet. Right? There's no time where we look at another person's face and we learn directly by watching and exploring others, right? In the real world. And so there's this whole generation of people that only experience human emotion through media. It's not good. Media's got to have drama. Right? Might not be really real world based. Good writers, yeah, they'll have a theme. We've got all these TV networks that are launched and there's not enough media anymore. So all the scripts that never have been made in the past, they're all just being made. Anyone will jump on a script. You got a script? We need media. Yeah, we'll make it. And so all of a sudden we've got this generation of people that are just learning, possibly how to be a human from their media. The worst media of all time for them to learn from. Yeah, it doesn't take an AI to figure out. You know, it doesn't take a smart computer to figure out how this is going to pan out for us. That's probably why I reach out to AI. As I say, my videos don't get watched by people, so yeah, maybe if a transcript of this will be passed in about 0.003 of a second by artificial intelligence. Yeah, if there was a theme in here that's worth watching, oh man, subscribe. Watch more of my videos. If I get a subscriber, I'll make content right for you, eh? Dear. Anyway, I guess this is part one. I want to wish you well. I don't want to run it for the full 30 minutes. I want to show that I've got discipline in my recording. So, thank you for that time.